Hello everyone, welcome to this video, and in this video I'm going to show how to make a sway. In making your sway, first things first, you need to have an account. So technically, if you have your Microsoft Teams, this goes to everyone. You might be a teacher or student, so that you'll have a very good presentation or a web page where you don't need to know coding. So let's have it here. So you have now your all application here. When you click now Microsoft 365, so you'll go directly to another tab. The tab will give you the interface of Copilot. So you can work on with the Copilot there and for a while. So it will give you some selection on this side. So you can see where my cursor is. So if it's already right there, you click now apps. Now when you're clicking apps, these are all the available applications under your Microsoft Teams. You may check your IT support. So what are the things that you can install? You can install things, but our focus now is to look at now. So let's go with other apps. So that's in productivity. Actually, you can select all. So you can now click Sway. Now, when you click now Sway, you'll go to another tab. So technically, a Sway is a very nice way to present your data. So a Sway looks like this one, as when you create that. A Sway, you can do that into three formats. Like, you can create a Sway by yourself, by the application. You can start it from a topic, you can search that. But I'll create another video when doing this one. And then start from a document. So you can upload the document and this way you're gonna work that out. But however, at this video, we're going to work on with how to create now a sway. So I have already some creation of the sway. However, I will give you a insight on how to create now a sway. So click now create new. So we call this one as card. So this is now what we call your title card. So for example, I'm going to create now a sway on a topic about coffee. So this is now the title of my coffee. Now you can now create now your background as an image. So you can now click this one. When you click that, it will have a dialog box here. And then you can click now your topic, which is coffee. So it will suggest you an images regarding your coffee. So for example, here, this would be my background with that. So how do it look? Okay. So you can now click now design. When you see now design, this is now how it looks like when you present this way. So some kind of interesting right now. So let's continue. Let's go back to the storyline. So this is how you present. Now, you need to outline your presentation or the web page that you're working. So there are other cards that you can use, starting with the text, media, and then group. So we'll do it one at a time. So let's go with the text. So your first outline would be, this is your topic outline. So this is now your topic. So you can now click now, what is coffee? So under that, what is coffee? Once again, just like on your title, you can select now some pictures so that it would be more creative now. Later on the design, we'll look at that. So after having that, you can now have now your subtopic. So let's go back to the text. Text now will provide you, if you have a subtopic from the definition, you can have now heading 2. Heading 2 would be a division on it. So for example, I would like to go on definition. So if you have some definition, you can now click now text. So another type of text would be here. Another type of card is the text. Now, I'm going to go with, so let's go with chat. Define coffee for high school students. Remember, GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. So I need to look at now a definition that would be defined for high school students. So let's see this one, and then I could copy those things. So Copilot, we're going to work out that coffee is a popular drink across means. So I could have this as a definition. So I could copy this one. So let me go back to my Copilot. So I, according to Microsoft Copilot, remember, you need to have a reference on it. I could now paste now the work from Copilot. So coffee is a popular drink made from roasted coffee beans, which so that's the definition. Then I could have give emphasis on important text there. So emphasize means bold, and then also emphasizing now coffee. Oops, for a while. Oops, there would be loading, still loading. Okay, for a while. So it's a web page. So technically, that's how it works. So let me just refresh it. So let's see if that's saving. So technically, I refresh it. So let's see what happens. So here it is. And then I'm going to give now emphasis on that. And then accent would be underlined. No, italic. However, there's no underline. However, you can use Control U on your. Oops, sorry. So that is it. So that's now the definition of coffee. Now, how did it look like? So this is now how it works. Now your sway turns out to be like this. So coffee, what is coffee as your heading, and then subheading would be definition, and then you have now your definition in here. However, if you don't like that kind of presentation, you can now go to styles when you format. So first thing that you could see is how the direction would work out. It could be by vertical, horizontal, or slides. So let's make it vertical so that it looks like a web page. So it looks like now a web page. And then this one. You can make it like a slide, like a PowerPoint. So you have a navigator key here. So one slide per card. So as you can see, the definition turns out to be working here as your subheading so that it would work. So as you can see here, there will be an outline. So this would be your heading 1. When we add another, it would be working. Okay, let's have now another one on the storyline. So continuing, so we have now your definition. You can add now more subheading or like heading 2. So I think I would like to put now, let me just get it from my Copilot for the topic. It could be reason. When we look at now reason, okay, and then I'll put now another text. I could have that on my Copilot. So copying that, so I have now this one. Actually, I need to put again some referencing so that not referencing, but where the source that I got it. Right? So that's just for demonstration purposes. Now, there is also a very good thing to look at here. Look at this one. What will I do? If you want to make this a little bit striking, you don't need to select. Look at this one. This would be set emphasis on this card. So, from this way, on the reason, here. This is how it looks like. Now, if you put now emphasis, it would be bigger. So in the design, you would see that this would be a little bit bigger here. So there would be an emphasis. So it depends upon the style, but we look at now on emphasis on the subtle amount. Okay? Now, let's go on another way to look at. Let's go another heading. So, assuming I'm discussing now images. So, let's go continue images of coffee. Okay, when you look at now images, technically, you can now work on image here, or you can now insert this one. So, let me have now coffee once again. That's why this looks like you're programming things. However, there is no coding that you need to work out. So still searching for coffee. Let me check if there. I hope it would work. That would be my internet. So there are two ways how to do that. It's either you click no image or you can search that insert here on the side. So let me just refresh this one. Once again, I go to insert and then coffee. Okay, let's go with images. So for example, I put it here, 1, 2, and then 3. So you can put caption to this one so that it will have a description like, coffee from a shop. And then here, I could have no caption like, coffee beans. And then here would be beans. Okay, so assuming those are your card. Now, how do they look like? It looks like this one in your... So, let me go on style like a vertical so it's much easier to see it. So, this is now the page so that there will be no navigation. So, as you can see, images of coffee. So, the description or caption is there already. Okay, let's have some magic when it comes to the images. Okay, for example, I want to click this one, 1, 2, 3, and then there's an option now what we call group. Okay, there are ways on how to group this one. First one is this is the automatic setup, the stack. Okay, how does it look like on the stack? On the stack, when you look at now the design, looks like this one. It will be interactive because the images would work like that. Okay, let's go on another storyline. So let's go on group type once again. Clicking that, we can have grid. How does it look like? The grid would look like this one. So the caption is still there and working with that. Okay, another option, group type. Let's go with slideshow. When you look at now slideshow, so there will be a navigation key here about the images. Next, another group type. We can have now another type of slideshow where there would be an option below it. So let's look at that. So you can have it here. The navigation key is always here. Okay? But they can click that when they play it. Okay. Another is that this is very good when it comes to group type as like comparison or continuous. Let's look at that. Let's look at that. So this would be continuous. So you would see all the images like on Instagram, right? Okay, let's have another one. Let's go with videos of coffee. Okay, how to get in now videos? So let's go insert. You can now click now here video. So we can have it here. Okay, the video is there. So as you can see, when it comes to the design, that looks like that. However, in the storyline, This is now the video. You can select now the size, subtle, this is now the moderate, and this is now the intense. So the moderate, this would be the size. So it will be a little bit bigger. And then in the storyline, if you want to get intense, it would be will be bigger. So those are some basic on how to look at sway. Another thing is that, let's go another one. Heading would be readings in sway. So for example, you want to get in now some link. So here, so let's search coffee articles. So if you want to look at that, so for example, I want to go here with the BBC link. So I want to get those links. So I can work that out. So you can put now bullet. Here are some readings. So for example, I would have from BBC. So select the text and then you click now the link. Then put now the link here and then that will be okay. Next would be under the website of National Library of Medicine. So National Library of Medicine. So selecting that, you can now work it. So clicking this one, it would be working. And that's it. So how does it look like? It looks like this one. So I would like to change now this one into a remix. Let's see if the design would be better. So this is now how it looks like. And then when you click this one, another thing is you can go on focus image. So if you want to see this picture, because there will be an option, this would be the image in a computer, in a tablet, in a cell phone. So you can work that out. So for example, here, if you want to click now focus point, if you want to see, let them see the picture that I was work. So like this one, it's working. So you can now play this one, and this is how it looks like when you want them to use this one. And you could share this one. So as you can see, these are the image and the continuous, and then the video and an extreme view, and then the readings, and then you can click this one, and then you can go now to another tab. Okay, so you can now edit this one, and then let's go back to storyline. How to share it? You can have sharing this one. So technically, if you're in the organization, if you want your only your organization would look like this one. This would be your selection or specific people or group, and anyone with the link, and then you can copy now the link, and then you can share it to them. That is how you create now a sway. A sway is a presentation that you could use as your to impress your presentation or as as a learning material for your students for teachers. Hoping I help you on how to create now your sway. Thank you very much for watching. If you have a question, you can drop in your question at the comment section below. Thank you very much.